A little statistic I heard a long time ago when I got into the photo world was that photography is 1% taking pictures and 99% moving furniture. And that is absolutely true, especially today, because I'm taking this little photo setup I have in the corner of this room, and it's going to have its own full-on dedicated room for content creation, YouTube, photography, everything. So I'm super excited to finally have this space, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. And I'm gonna give you guys a little backstory on how we ended up at this point. So a year and a half ago, I moved down to Tennessee with my wife. We had this family room here, and we decided that I was gonna shoot YouTube stuff here just out of frame, and then my photography stuff for my business here. This has not been an issue because I've been able to do very small product stuff like I have been doing for a long time. In addition to having a full-on photo studio, I always had a little setup at my desk. So this is way bigger than my setup at my desk because it's an entire desk, but I'm so used to being jammed in a corner. Maybe I can find a picture to put on screen now, but this felt like so much room. And this room is actually pretty big. However, there's a big playpen behind the camera now, so that's eating up a lot of space in the room. And moving forward with wanting to do more YouTube stuff and tutorials, I just need a little room. This room is cool because it's big. However, there's no door on the doorway. So when the baby's up, she's making noise, she's babbling, she's having a great time, but you can hear it in a recording. And now she's sleeping, and I don't want to wake her up by clanking around and moving stuff. So we thought maybe we'll put a doorway on this door, but we decided against it, and we have an office that we don't use that much. So my wife was like, why don't you just take the office and just turn it into a content room? I think that idea is sick. I'm gonna be able to style it out and get all furniture and put all the stuff on the walls that I want. And most importantly, I'll be able to have 360 around the photo table so I can move the light in different places and not have the light coming from the same direction all the time, because that has been the thing that has always driven me crazy at home. Now I'm gonna have a lot more flexibility. I could set up a seamless, and I have a ton of different colors to choose from, so I can be way more creative. I can have way more flexibility. I can even get some gear in there. I don't have any extra C-stands in here or anything, no extra sandbags. So I can set up all that stuff there, and it's gonna just give me a lot more freedom to accomplish what I want to do. Now I'm gonna show you guys the room before, so you can see what it does look like now before I swap everything over and get it popping. This lens is making this room look like an airplane hangar, but yeah, it's 14 feet by 15 feet. You can see my wife's side is very clean and my side looks horrendous because my toxic trait is that I spread out and I leave stuff everywhere. But 2025 New Year's res, gonna try and fix that once and for all. I'm gonna get the camera stand in here, and once we get my wife's desk out and her bookcase and stuff, it's gonna be a little more room to work with. So I just wanna get a few pieces of gear in here, get the ball rolling, and 2025 is gonna be sick. So let's get the gear in here and get started. So the first thing I had to do was take my wife's stuff and put it in a new room, and that way I had more room for my stuff. I'm actually moving my desk to where she had her desk because I just want to switch things up. I kind of want to just start totally fresh and get a whole new vibe than what I've been doing. So I had to take the camera stand apart because it's super heavy. It's probably 140 pounds, so it's easier to take it apart. It's obviously big and bulky and awkward. This is the easiest way to transport it to a new room. So here's a little desk swap that I wanted to do. The brown wood table is my current YouTube setup, and I want to use that as my main desk for work and for this YouTube channel. So I wanted to get rid of that from this room and then put my shooting desk back in that place in case I want to use this setup still with that background, but I have a feeling I'm going to just do everything in one room now. All right, I'm back after a couple of days of tooling around and trying to get things figured out in here. I feel like the room is up and running, which is basically where I want to be right now. Eventually, I want to decorate it. I want it to look really sick, but I feel like in my life, I have chased perfection in a way, knowing that it'll never happen, and that inevitably delays projects from ever happening. And it's like a subconscious way of sabotaging yourself or procrastinating. Drop a comment below if that sounds like you too, because I know I can't be the only one, but I'm realizing that right now if I get the surface in here, I get the camera stand going, I got my desk set up, everything's functioning, I can take pictures, I can make video, and we're ready to rock and roll. One thing that I really need to do sooner than later is treat the room for sound, because there's an insane echo in here, and I have a lot of post running, so hopefully it cuts it down significantly. But boy, oh boy, actually let's hear it. This is what it sounds like without any post on it. And you can hear that my thoughts are reverberating around the room, and it's horrendous. So anyway, let's turn that back on so it sounds nice and clean. I just know that I need to get some rugs on the floor. I might do some small area rugs so I can move them around depending on how I'm shooting. I know I want to put some sound panels on the ceiling for sure, but I need to decide what I want to do with the walls, and I'm giving myself a deadline of 2 weeks so they don't look bare forever, and so I can just commit to something and just get it done. So I'm kind of debating between doing not a lot with the color and just putting sound panels on the walls, or if I'm gonna go like full black paint with like wood slats. So we'll see where I end up. I'm 50-50 on it, so your guess is as good as mine. Either way, I know it's gonna help with all this sound echoing and everything, so that'll be cool. And I'm excited to get some art and stuff on the wall back there for this kind of main headshot vibe. You know what, now let me take a little walk around here and show you guys what the room looks like. All right, so let's just take a little look around the room, and I'll show you guys what I intend to do with the space, kind of give you a little overview of what's going on in here. So when you come on into the room, the first thing I trip over is this C-stand. So this thing's out of here. We're gonna get to the desk in a minute. That's gonna be the last stop because there's a lot to discuss there. But I want to show you guys kind of the idea here. So again, 14 by 15 feet. Historically, I've shot on a desk. Desks are very sturdy. It's like 2 feet, 3 feet by 4 feet, 3 feet by 5 feet sometimes. The problem is, like I mentioned before, is that I spread out and I put stuff everywhere. It's really helpful when you have a prop stylist because they can have like an area, where they keep all the props and little things on standby, all their things they need to adhere things to set and rig stuff. The point of being in this room is to have more space. So I'm going with these hideous sawhorses, which I'm going to replace. They had some paint incident from when we did a Vera Wang shoot. Pictures here. They need to go. I want them to look nice. $60 well spent for a new set. It'll be awesome. But yeah, I've got some 2 foot by 2 foot MDF here. This is just some wood for a shoot that I'm doing tomorrow. But yeah, this MDF is 2 feet by 2 feet. Go to Home Depot, get a few pieces cut, 2 feet by 2 feet, 3 feet by 3 feet. They'll last forever. That's like a super strong composite particle wood, whatever. It's really, really durable. It doesn't bow. It's amazing. So get some of that, you'll be in good shape. The big thing that you guys might be wondering about is this camera stand. So this is a Manfrotto camera stand. It is essentially a tripod on steroids. Let me come around this side so you can see the vibe here. So that's the base, and this is a little brake here. So you engage or disengage that. You can roll it around the studio. This column raises all the way up. I think that's 7 or 8 feet, probably 7.5 feet. I don't know. And it can go all the way to the bottom. It can spin. This column goes in and out, and this is supposed to be able to flip, but it's broken because someone else owned this before me and destroyed it. I would never do that to this beloved camera stand. I got it for a steal of a deal. They are very, very expensive, thousands of dollars. If you ever get a chance to own one for, less than a couple of grand, it's a no-brainer. Go for it. But it's amazing, super sturdy. You get very repeatable shots. You don't have to worry about registration issues and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll do a full video on that another time. Moving along to the set cart. So my wife was using this for a while, and now it belongs to me, and I will be loading it up with some goodies. I got some grip stuff there, and I'm going to put some tape in there and all that, but that's going to be a fun little cart to have right beside me, so I don't have to go digging through a lot of drawers for frequently used, but probably clunky, kind of bulky items. This empty wall here, sorry, it's a little bright. This empty wall here will have some more stands and stuff in the future. I don't want to keep too much in here because I don't want it to get too cluttered. So I'll probably have some extra stands and seamless backdrops and everything in another room. But for now, this is what I've got. And again, I need to figure out what I want to do with these walls. And then here I have a bookshelf that I've had forever, my entire EDC collection on top, well, most of it. In this bookshelf, I'll keep bulkier items that I don't use as often, like my motion control stuff, you know, bigger things like that. My window will soon have a nice blackout curtain, which I have downstairs, and I'm going to install that this weekend. I've got my Alex drawers here, which are packed to the brim with a bunch of random stuff, and I need to do a deep dive and organize them more, but just so you guys can see kind of roughly what I've gotten here, just a lot of like grip stuff, batteries, tech stuff, etc. So plenty of that, and then I got to put some stuff on there. So the desk, let's talk about the desk. So I'm switching to this desk. This was my YouTube desk. I want to combine all my work stuff and the YouTube stuff in one desk. I don't want to have two workstations anymore. I just want to keep this super neat, keep it tidy. There's so many things that I want to do with this. I've already started ordering stuff. And again, I don't want to order things that I don't need and just order things for the sake of ordering them. But I've been kind of sick of having this computer on this little stand situation here. So I'm getting some nice monitor arms that will keep things like free floating and just keep the surfaces empty. That's really the goal here, just to keep everything looking nice and tidy. We've got a horrific scene under the desk, which I've already started printing some cable management stuff on my Bamboo X1. I've got an under shelf drawer printing right now, so that's going to be cool. I've always wanted a little drawer right here so I can keep smaller stuff at the ready without having the desktop cluttered. It's going to be a whole new world for me, guys. I'm very excited. And then let's get to this monstrosity. So like I said, I've been tripping over this thing all day long. It's going to be out of here, I think, tomorrow. I've ordered an Elgato arm and mount system. So I'm going to have, much like this newer pole here that's holding up this Amaran F22X, I'm going to have another pole here, and it's going to have an arm for the camera, arm for the monitor, and an arm for this beautiful Zoom H6, which I'll probably replace eventually. For now, it does the job. I've got another monitor here, and this monitor is going to be used as an external monitor for the camera when I'm doing tutorial stuff, so I can see it from across the room, because the peepers ain't what they used to be. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed the transition from the smaller space to this full-on room that's dedicated to creating content and shooting some YouTube videos. I'm really pumped to create some tutorial stuff and share my info with you guys. If there's anything you want to see specifically, whether it's techniques, gear-related stuff, or just questions about how to use gear, please drop them in the comments. I would love to make videos that are specifically tailored to what you guys are looking for. I know a lot of people on Instagram have mentioned phone related photography, so I'll probably do something with that. Just let me know what you guys want to see, and stay tuned for the journey of how this room turns out to be. Once again, thank you guys so much for checking it out, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace out.